I'm Tim Blake. I play guitar and sing with the band.
I'm the lead vocalist, Steve Miller.
I'm the keyboardist, Bean.
My name is Todd Harney, and I'm the drummer for Rif Raf.
The FBI's been looking for me for years, and I am not about to give you nothing.
And we just had a dream that we were going to play rock and roll and be one of the best rock bands in Zanesville.
I'm the only remaining original member. Actually, I got a call from Brent in the probably late fall of '78. So it was the year of the blizzard. And went and jammed with him, and this is cool. It was the drummer's idea, came up with Rif Raf. There was also an AC/DC tune called Rif Raf. And yeah, that sounds like a good name. Let's go with that. Yeah, and we've seen a lot of people come through the band over the years. It's me. It's Steve Miller is also a vocalist. Is the other guitar player, Max Maxwell. Joe Bowman took up bass playing duties 2001 when Todd Harney came on board 3 years ago. And then of course, Bean's been playing keys with us for 1999. And this lineup is probably the longest that has went unchanged. No, it's like the Beatles. I mean, there's no one particular star.
I miss Dale a lot, but we got a great drummer in there who's filling in and doing a great job.
I don't know, I've been with these guys, 14 years now, I guess.
It's been so long I can't remember the years.
The band's been around obviously since I was 3, and
like I say, Steve and I sing, so we share singing abilities. Max and I, trade off guitar licks, and of course, Joe's holding down the bass, Bean's holding down keyboards, and Lefty's holding down the drums.
I've known all these guys for a long time.
It's been a while, but yeah, I got to run sound for them for a lot of years. It was fun.
AC/DC, Van Halen, Gary Moore, but they're like, UFO. I mean,
Frankie Valli actually was one of the earliest.
Definitely the Beatles, the Stones.
I love playing blues, rock, hard rock, even good country.
But with, we do a cover of Eleanor Rigby, of all things, and it's kind of a heavy metal version.
They were inspirational to me.
You got to make it your own.
Remember, but I really liked Mark Farner and Three Dog Night.
Some of these songs don't fit. Like Footloose. What were we thinking? Footloose? Come on. But it was real hot at the time, So it's always been kind of that classic rock, We've always done originals. Some of them have been around probably from the beginning. Some are just, your typical 80s rock and roll topics. Sex, rock and roll. I do a lot of writing. Dean writes. Max has some things in the can that we're going to start working on. They kind of pop into your head. You're standing there in front of the mirror in the morning and getting ready to, for work or whatever, and it's like all of a sudden a line pops in your head. Let me go write that down. It's probably about 1980. It's called Kick Me. And actually one of the guys that runs sound for us, he said, you got to bring that back out. Pretty easy for me to come up with, riffs, and that's where it develops, and then you can turn them into songs, and that usually comes first. And then, so I brought it out here, and I've been, playing it for them. So, and so, I've got a lot of tunes that, I've got on the computer that have never seen the light of day. So we play a lot of those live that aren't recorded yet. So hopefully we're going to get to do some more recording here soon, and get a lot of those things recorded so people can hear them.
And I had a lot of musical family members, and we used to get together on Saturday nights, and they'd play guitar and sing. Oh, I just wanted to play the guitar. About 1960, I was fooling around with the mandolin because the guitar was bigger than me.
I started singing on a hay wagon when I was 4 years old at the church.
And they went to Montgomery and Ward's and bought me a guitar. Dad said, we can't afford the lessons. He showed me like 5 or 6 chords that he knew. My mother taught me my first lead guitar solo.
Had no inspiration of ever being a vocalist, but it just somehow worked out that way.
We tried to compete with this band called Rif Raf back then.
And Dale, I'd played with him, our other drummer.
After Max Blue broke up and we all kind of went our separate ways,
I played with him in another band.
I had a heart attack and I quit for 6 years. The guitar player came in and told me, he said, the boys are going to call you. And I said, who's the boys? No, Rif Raf. And I said, why in the hell would Tim Blake want me to play guitar? All these years, Tim and I were friends and friendly competitors.
We've been connected for a long time.
And I said, I haven't touched the guitar in 6 years. I said, so, I got to play lead. I've been doing that since I was 5 years old.
That deal ended, and I just happened to be floating free. And
I told him I would, and then I called him up and said, no, I can't do it.
so just one of those things, just fell together.
They didn't have keyboardists when they first started out. They was pretty heavy AC/DC and stuff like that.
I fell in love with it again. And I said, why have I been sitting at home waiting for the Grim Reaper?
And I offered to play, and they took me up on it.
I do this because I love music. Give me a guitar. My guitar's just who I am. So, and I said, well, if I got to die, I might as well die doing what I do. And best thing that ever happened to me anyway. So.
And stuff, added it to the AC/DC, and here we are today.
I want a note that makes me get goosebumps,
Can't remember. Oh, jeez. Well, back in the day, I liked the Rascals and Steppenwolf and Uriah Heep and old bands with keyboards in it. No comment. No comment. It's year by year now. As long as my mind, hands, and body work, I'm in. But I wrote one song, but most of the rest were written by Tim Blake. I can't remember what year that was. No, it was before that. Oh, it's always fun there. I always know people, and it's always fun.
No, I will not. I started it, I think, in the late part of '78 when they'd been together for a while doing lighting. That's when I started. Billy Page went, hi, thank you. Oh, I'm not shining anywhere, am I? Hi, thank you. Oh, I'm not shining anywhere, am I? Okay, thank you very much. The ugliest makeup girl I ever had.
They did a gig one night in Dresden, and I got up and did a couple little things with them, little ditties, and they decided that they'd like to have a lead singer. So they wanted to diversify a little bit. Me and Max actually joined about the same time. So it was just a fluke of nature, I guess.
And
I played other places with other bands, and I was in Coshocton for 15 years, and that deal ended, and I just happened to be floating free. And
I like trading off solos. I think it adds a lot of versatility to what people are able to listen to.
Van Slam has always been a great one. I have so much fun just watching other people have fun, man. It's a great time. It really is. Oh, God, I could write a fucking book, I'm telling you.
I don't doubt it.
Oh, Lord.
so strange.
No, I know you guys have recorded some originals, right?
Right.
How does
Hard. uh, it's a job, but it's fun. You know, that's these guys, like I say, they're so easy to get along with. However long it takes, it takes.
are you allowed?
You know, we all swore that as soon as one of us quit or was gone, it was over with. But with Dale passing the way he did, you know, we all figured it was over with. But along comes Todd, and he's such a student at what he does that he just it was really weird because he just fit right in, and he's like us. He gets along.
So we can't do it anymore. And at one point in time, we were down to 3 Ps.
I miss Dale a lot, but we got a great drummer in there who's filling in and doing a great job. I couldn't be happier. I got to go out. I'm going out with these guys.
And you're looking at everybody else, and it's like, yeah, this is fun. He's ripping off some lead that I like that.
I believe that I first saw them probably in Dresden, Ohio at the Dresden Homecoming back in the 80s. So as a child, I was there a lot, and they played there a lot. My dad was in the band at some point in the 90s, so I saw them in the 90s as well.
So they made an impression on you?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yep, yes, very much how authentic the music. Band's been around obviously since I was 3, and I believe that I first saw them probably in Dresden, Ohio at the Dresden Homecoming back in the 80s. So as a child, I was there a lot, and they played there a lot. My dad was in the band at some point in the 90s, so I saw them in the 90s as well.
So they made an impression on you?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yep, yes, very much how authentic
You
the
can
music.
start by introducing yourself.
Yep, my name is Todd Harney, and I'm the drummer for Rif Raf.
I guess let's take it from the top.
Yep.
You can start by introducing yourself.
Yep, my name is Todd Harney, and I'm the drummer for Rif Raf. I've been drumming since late 2016, after Dale had passed away. Came and auditioned here, I think December of 2016, and made the band, and it's been kind of surreal ever since.
You said it felt like you'd been in the band forever.
That's right, yeah. Band's been around obviously since I was 3. And
Forever.
That's right, yeah. Band's been around obviously since I was 3, and I believe that I first saw them probably in Dresden, Ohio at the Dresden Homecoming back in the 80s. So as a child, I was there a lot, and they played there a lot. My dad was in the band at some point in the 90s, so I saw them in the 90s as well.
So they made an impression on you?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yep, yes, very much how authentic the music.
Did the best we could.
Memorable.
Not necessarily in a good way.
Yeah.
So we're doing this for the barn. Can you talk about playing the barn?
But we'll do it as long as we can, because it's always fun. And when you're in the groove, it's just fun.
And the young kids seem to have as much fun as the older people. I played for your mom when she was in school. I played for you. I played for your kids. So it's kind of cool. And a lot of the young guitar players come up to Tim and I all the time, treat you with respect, and they come up saying, "How did you do that?" I think what it is mostly is the young players in town that come to see us kind of look at.
Oh, the barn's a cool place. That's really kind of our home now.
Oh, I love playing the barn. I do. But in town is Linden Avenue, and Linden Avenue's the barn. But in town is Linden Avenue, and Linden Avenue's the barn.
You have the best crowd, the best people, the best owners.
We've played there several times now, and it's just seems like it's always fun, And if it's not fun, it's a horrid night. So we've always had fun down there.
You know, fun people. You know, it's laid out well.
I call it my home port. It's the best place in Zanesville to play.
Oh, it's always fun there. I always know people, and it's always fun at the barn.
They treat us like gold down there.
And they treat you well.
They have a great crowd. I mean, but Jimmy is a great guy.
Love playing the place. Got a great stage. Jimmy's a great guy. You know, what can you ask for? And it's like 2 blocks from my house.
Can't remember.
I'll do it until they carry me off the stage or pry it out of my cold dead hands. It's the best thing I've ever done.
All these guys are so easy to get along with. And
That's really the odd story. These guys, this is my family. I mean, we have our following, it still comes in. And then you got the kids of that following, and sometimes the kids of those kids. I've played for 3 generations or more. You know, I played for your mom when she was in school. I played for you. And I played for your kids. So it's kind of cool. And a lot of the young guitar players come up to Tim and I all the time, treat you with respect, and they come up saying, "How did you do that? How, you know?" I think what it is mostly is the young players in town that come to see us kind of look at
40 years to life. If I don't have to lift gear and all I got to do is get up there and play on stage, I might make it to 75, 80 years old.
I love them all.